Hey, what's going on, friends and family? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of BKO Reviews, and today I'm so excited about this one here. We are actually doing our first triple unboxing. Yes, people, I said our first triple unboxing. But before we get started with anything, I definitely want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. If you're like myself, I'm working on my second plate as we speak, but I felt it was only right that I actually try to get you this video as soon as possible. Also, if you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way. And if this is your first time tuning into the channel, people, and I pray that it isn't, please subscribe. It's your best way of staying up to date with the most recent content. And you can also follow me on these social media platforms. With that being said, with no further ado, let's get into the review. Well, as you can see, it is that standard 350 box with the boost on the side. So let's check it out. Today we're doing a review on a pair of Yeezy Boost 350 V2 with a color scheme of black, red, and a style code of B79612. It is a slide out box, as you can see, and it does come with two sheets of the actual tissue paper, and no review will be right without for the receipt, please. And like I said earlier, it is a triple unboxing, so we do have two receipts with 3 purchases on it.
Wake up, Mr. Webb! Mr. Webb! Mr. Webb! Yeah. 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 And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. From the shy like Tim and Sahara way. So this is in the name of love like Robert say. Before you ask me to go get a job today, can I at least get a raise on the minimum wage? And I know.
Wow. Man, these right here are super clean. First and foremost, I definitely have to give a shout out to Foot Locker. I do appreciate you taking the effort of making the whole sneaker experience a lot fairer for people who actually want a sneaker. I was actually to purchase all 3 of these pairs from Foot Locker via their whole sneaker app launcher, where you actually sign in and, you know, they try to make it as fair as possible for people to actually purchase this pair. If you're not familiar with this sneaker, this is the Yeezy 350 V2 in that black and red, solar red or infrared colorway. So let's check the details out. Well, as you can see, the entire upper is that knitted material here. On the actual inside of the back, it is heavy padded here. It is definitely different than the actual V1 version of the 350s. You do have the black laces as well as that infrared color stripe going across the actual sneaker. It does say SPLY. Some people is saying that it means St. Pablo love you, and some people are saying that it means SPLY. Guess it all depends on who you ask. You have that smoke translucent outsole, as you can see. The actual toe box has that heavy stitch that goes up the entire toe to the top of the tongue. The medial side clearly has an underlay that is in the same infrared solar red color that kind of pops out throughout the actual black. There you go. The back heel also has that heavy stitching, and the actual stripe tends to fade, or it could begin. I'm not sure. It all depends on how you look at it. The actual insole of the sneaker is an all black insole with the wording Adidas Yeezy in that infrared solar red color, with the 3M3 stripes on the actual inside of the back heel. Like I said, this is a triple unboxing, so it did come in 2 other colors. Next up, this is the copper color, which is on camera is more of a tan color. As you can see, it does say, wow, I'm just noticing this now. On the left shoe, it says SPLY 350 the correct way, but on the right shoe, it appears to be backwards. I'm not sure if this is something that they intended to do, but it is definitely unique. It does have that same translucent outsole here. The toe box pretty much exactly the same with the heavy stitching up their entire toe. On this shoe, you do have the hang tag. On this side, it says PRC, HK. As we flip it, UK and F. Also, you can see the underlay of that actual copper material that kind of pops out through the black. Very clean. As well as the heavy stitching on the back heel and the actual stripe that tends to fade. The insole is pretty much identical. All black Adidas Yeezy and that copper color with the actual size sticker. If someone knows the reason why they actually decided to do a size sticker than an actual size tag that's stitched in, please let me know. Last but not least, what I have to say will be my favorite color out of the 3 is the olive green. I feel like I can get a lot more wears out of this color. It is in that light green color, as you can see here. That smoke gray translucent sole with the same heavy stitching up the entire toe to the top of the tongue. You also have the same underlay with peaks of olive green throughout. As we move to the back heel, you have the heavy stitching as well. Also, the stripe tends to fade or begin. As we move to the insole, it is a solid black insole that says Adidas Yeezy in that olive green color with the 3M stripes on the inside of the back heel. You know, it's definitely funny to me how things tend to work. Kanye West currently, well, I think his tour just ended, his St. Pablo tour. He had a couple dates here in New York. One of them was early September at Madison Square Garden. Unfortunately, I didn't have tickets to it, but I was actually able to go to the main floor and purchase some merchandise. So let's check it out. At first, this was just something I was going to get just to say I have, you know. But once I seen the actual sneakers, I said this may work. It is a solid black t-shirt, and on the front of it, it says St. Pablo Tour in that infrared solar red color, as you can see. On the back, it says St. Pablo Tour, Monday, September 5th, 2016, general admission. You know, this was something I was just gonna keep in my collection to say I have, but once I actually got the sneakers in hand, I said, hold on. The actual colors are very similar, if not identical. You let me know. But I definitely want to thank everyone once again for tuning into another episode of BKO Reviews. Please, people, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Also, if this is your first time tuning into the channel, please subscribe. We post videos every Sunday at 12 noon. And once again, definitely, I want to thank everyone for tuning into another episode of BKO Reviews. Happy Thanksgiving.